Hey everyone, Fred here, and welcome to another real estate video where I share tips and tools to help you succeed in real estate. Buying a home can be very intimidating, especially for those new to purchasing a home and don't know what to expect. So in this video, I'm going to go through the entire timeline of buying a home, outlining a successful transaction from start to finish. It's kind of like a roadmap for those new to real estate, like first-time home buyers. Now, before I start, I just want to make clear that this is a very high-level timeline of what to expect when buying a home, and that not all purchasing transactions follow these exact steps. Some buyers may have unique circumstances that result in additional steps that are outside of the norm. If you had a different experience or had something unexpected happen to you when buying a home, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. So if you've never purchased a home before, then you'll want to stick around because this video will be a helpful tool in your search to buy a new home. Let's get to it. The first and obvious step is actually deciding that you want to buy a new home. This is where you say to yourself, okay, it's time. And you commit to this decision by taking the necessary steps to prepare. And by this, I mean you start to organize your finances and you start to decide on the areas or communities you're interested in. Then you'll want to browse homes in those areas online. This will give you a feel as to what you want versus what's available on the market. Then you'll move on to the next step, which is get pre-qualified. This is where you select a lender to get qualified for an amount that will help you determine your budget. Now, it's important to get this done before you start looking because you'll want to know your budget well ahead of time. There are two main reasons for this. One, you don't want to fall in love with a home and then find out you can't afford it. And two, if you find a home and you want to put an offer on it, but you don't know what you're qualified for, well, then there's a chance that the time it takes for you to go back to your lender and get qualified, that during this time, someone else will put an offer before you get a chance to put yours in. Now, I'm not saying this happens a lot, but you want to take the necessary steps to reduce the chances of this happening. Next, you'll need to search for a realtor. Now that you're pre-qualified, you'll need to look for and hire the best realtor for you. You'll want to do your due diligence and thoroughly research and interview many realtors before you hire the one that will guide you through this real estate journey. Remember, the best realtor isn't someone that's referred to you, like your cousin's best friend. Instead, you'll want to do your research. And if you don't know where to start on how to research a realtor, don't worry, because I have a video that will outline everything you'll need to know on how to research and interview realtors, including the questions you should ask. This will provide you with a step-by-step process when you're selecting a realtor. I'll link the video above and in the comments below. The next step is to meet with your realtor. After you've interviewed and selected a realtor, they should sit down with you and explain what to expect from the moment you hire them till the day you move into your new home. Whereas this video is a generalized guide, this meeting, in contrast, will provide you with a detailed timeline specific to your situation. You'll want to know and need to know what to expect with each step in the journey. This is an opportunity not only for you to get to know your realtor a bit better, but to also ask any questions you may have about the entire process. This is also a time where your realtor should share a proactive plan should anything unexpected come up. These 4 steps happen within a reasonable time frame. I'd say no more than 1 or 2 weeks. But the timing on the following steps will ultimately vary depending on a number of factors, like market conditions, the amount of supply in the market, and most importantly, whether or not you found something that you like, that fits your budget and expectations. Now it's time to view some homes. This is a simple step, so I won't spend too much time on it. But it's important because it can become very time consuming. Your realtor will book the showings on your behalf, so ensure you allot yourself a good amount of time dedicated to going out and looking at homes. Most people underestimate the time it takes to look at homes. In my experience, it's rarely ever a one and done kind of deal where it's love at first sight. You'll most likely need to see 2 to 5 homes, if not more, before you find the one you're looking for or something close to it. So be sure that you've set aside a day or 2 to look at various homes. So you've looked at a bunch of homes and you found the one. It's now time to place an offer. You and your realtor will put together an offer that they'll present to the seller. During this time, your agent should also set expectations. What do I mean by this? Well, first, your realtor will need to sit down with you and guide you through the entire process of putting together a reasonable offer. This involves discussing details like the amount you're prepared to offer, including the amount of the deposit, as well as closing dates, and most importantly, going through the entire agreement of purchase and sale to explain what you're about to sign. Then they should also go through a bidding strategy with you. So essentially, what could happen once your bid is presented to the seller? Such possible scenarios are acceptance, a counteroffer, or rejection, and how to respond in each of these scenarios. Your agent should also explain the plan they have in place in the event that there's a competing bid situation. Having a plan for each of these scenarios will allow you to enter any negotiation scenario with confidence. Now we're moving on to negotiations. Once your realtor has submitted the offer on your behalf, then you'll wait to hear back from the seller on whether or not they're willing to entertain the offer. If so, then it's time to negotiate. If your offer isn't accepted immediately, then you'll receive a counteroffer from the seller. The agreement will go back and forth a few times until both parties agree and accept. There may be negotiation points about price, conditions, or even closing dates. So your realtor will guide you through the entire negotiation process. This is where it becomes very advantageous to have a realtor who is a skilled negotiator working for you. Once the negotiations are done and the offer is agreed upon and accepted by both parties, we then move on to acceptance. Unless both parties have agreed otherwise, you'll generally have 24 hours to get your deposit to the seller's brokerage, known as the listing brokerage, which is typically a bank draft made out to the listing brokerage in trust. But I need to make it clear that even though you placed your deposit, the sale is not final or firm until the conditions are met, like a condition of a home inspection. But once all the conditions are met, then the sale is declared firm, which means you just bought a house, so congratulations. Once all the conditions are met and the sale is firm, you'll then move on to the next step, which is to prepare for your closing date. This may include a number of things, such as organizing and packing, as well as purging, hiring a moving company, advising your utility companies of the move date, as well as the post office, and preparing for closing costs. And this is just to name a few things. It may sound like a lot, but don't worry. Your realtor should have a checklist prepared for you to follow, which will make things simple. And as well, they'll have a network of professionals that you can refer to in case you need them. For example, a trusted moving company. You'll also need to financially prepare for your closing date because you will incur closing costs. For instance, there will be adjustments that your lawyer will prepare upon closing, and this may include prorated property taxes, HST on commissions, lawyer fees, and any land transfer taxes that may apply. Your realtor will explain all these potential costs with you, but the final amounts will be calculated by your lawyer and deducted or owed upon closing. And finally, the closing date, which is when you pick up the keys to your brand new home and enjoy this exciting new stage in your life. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments below, or you can visit my website at fredrenna.com. I'm always here to help. And if you found this video helpful, why not give it a like? Or better yet, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.